Have you ever felt like something about life just doesn't add up? Like no matter how hard you try, happiness, success, and peace always seem just out of reach? You follow the rules, work hard, chase your dreams, yet something always feels missing. Don't worry, you're not alone. Society has spent centuries shaping the way we think about success, happiness, and even about ourselves. We're told that if we just achieve more, earn more, and gain more recognition, we'll finally feel fulfilled. But what if I told you that most of what you believe is a lie? That the secret to a truly fulfilling life has been known for thousands of years, yet hidden in plain sight? Today, we're uncovering the truth that society doesn't want you to know, through the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. And by the end of this video, you'll see life in a completely different way. You'll learn why society wants you to chase things that don't matter. Why happiness isn't about what you gain, but what you let go of. And how ancient wisdom still holds the key to modern struggles. But before we dive into these eye-opening lessons, let me tell you a story. Ethan had everything society told him he needed to be happy. A high-paying job, a luxury apartment, a car that turned heads. People admired him. His social media was filled with glimpses of his perfect life, exotic vacations, fine dining, and designer suits. Yet every night when the noise of the world faded, he felt it, an emptiness. No matter how much he achieved, something always seemed missing. The happiness he was promised never lasted. One day, during a business trip to Greece, Ethan found himself wandering the streets of Athens. Frustrated with his thoughts, he took a detour and climbed a quiet hill overlooking the city. That's where he met him, a frail old man sitting outside a small, humble home watching the sunset with a peaceful smile. Curious, Ethan sat down nearby. The two started talking, and soon the old man asked him a question that stopped Ethan in his tracks. "You have everything. Why are you still unhappy?" Ethan hesitated. He wanted to say something clever, but deep down he knew the truth. He had no answer. The old man chuckled as if he had heard this story many times before. He leaned in and said, "You're trapped in an illusion, my friend. A lie society has sold you, and unless you wake up, you'll keep chasing happiness in all the wrong places." Ethan's curiosity grew. "What do you mean?" he asked. The old man smiled and replied, "Let me tell you 3 truths that society doesn't want you to know." The old man took a deep breath and looked at Ethan with a calm, knowing gaze. "Society has built an invisible cage around you," he said, "a prison made of false beliefs. But once you understand these 3 truths, you'll see the world and yourself differently." Ethan listened closely as the old man revealed truth number 1. Society teaches us that happiness is something we achieve, that the more money, status, and possessions we accumulate, the happier we'll be. But the Stoics knew something different. Happiness isn't about gaining more, it's about needing less. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it simply, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll finally be happy when I get that promotion, when I buy that car, when I reach that goal?" Yet every time you get what you wanted, the feeling fades, and a new desire takes its place. Society has conditioned you to always want more, keeping you on an endless treadmill of dissatisfaction. The happiest people aren't those who have the most. They're those who have learned to be content with what they have. Example: studies show that once basic needs are met, increasing wealth has little impact on long-term happiness. In fact, many of the wealthiest individuals report feeling just as, if not more, empty than before. The Stoics mastered a powerful practice: voluntary discomfort. They would intentionally go without luxuries, wear simple clothes, and even sleep on the floor, not because they had to, but to remind themselves how little they truly needed to be happy. Try it for yourself. Spend a weekend without your favorite comforts. No expensive coffee, no luxury items. Focus on what truly makes you feel alive. Nature, meaningful conversations, self-reflection. You'll realize that the things society tells you are essential for happiness are just illusions. Truth number 2, the world doesn't care about you, and that's a good thing. At first, this sounds harsh. We spend so much time worrying about what others think of us, seeking approval, fearing judgment, shaping our lives to impress people who barely notice us. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to care about you. And that's liberating. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, understood this well. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." We fear embarrassment, rejection, and failure. But the reality is, people forget our mistakes faster than we think. Imagine this. You trip in public, spill coffee on your shirt, or say something awkward in a meeting. For a moment, it feels like the world is watching, but within minutes, everyone moves on, lost in their own thoughts. Example: psychological studies confirm this. People tend to overestimate how much others notice or remember their flaws. This is called the spotlight effect. We think we're on center stage, but in reality, no one's paying that much attention. This truth gives you power. Once you stop seeking approval, you gain the freedom to live life on your own terms. Speak your mind without fear. Pursue what truly matters to you. Stop wasting energy on impressing people who don't matter. When you realize that the world isn't watching your every move, you finally get to live for yourself. Truth number 3, the control you seek has always been inside you. Most people go through life believing that their happiness depends on external circumstances, their job, relationships, money, or luck. But the Stoics knew better. Your happiness is not controlled by the outside world. It's controlled by your perception of it. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties." Think about the last time you were stressed or anxious. Was it because of an actual crisis, or because of how you thought about the situation? We create unnecessary suffering by fearing things that haven't even happened, or dwelling on things we can't change. Example: you lose your job. One person sees it as a disaster, proof that they're a failure. Another sees it as an opportunity to start fresh. The event is the same, but the way they react determines everything. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the art of visualizing worst-case scenarios. Why? Because once you mentally prepare for the worst, you strip fear of its power. Try this. The next time you're overwhelmed by a problem, ask yourself, is this really as bad as I'm making it out to be? Can I control this, or just my response to it? When you shift your focus from what happens to you to how you respond, you gain something that no one can take away: real control over your life. Ethan sat in silence, letting these truths sink in. For the first time, he saw the world differently. The old man had given him something more valuable than all his possessions: perspective. And once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. Ethan looked at the old man, his mind racing with the weight of what he had just learned. But knowing the truth isn't enough, he finally said, "How do I actually apply this to my life?" The old man smiled. "Good," he said, "because understanding without action is useless." He then shared 3 powerful ways to apply these Stoic principles, practical steps to break free from the illusion society has created. One of the biggest mistakes people make is obsessing over things they have no control over. What other people think of them, the outcome of events they can't influence, the past, the future. But the Stoics had a simple rule: focus only on what is within your power, ignore the rest. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Example: imagine 2 people stuck in traffic. One is furious, honking, yelling, feeling like the world is against him. The other stays calm, accepts reality, and enjoys the time by listening to an audiobook or simply reflecting. Same situation, different response. The first person wasted energy on something uncontrollable. The second person applied Stoic indifference, choosing peace over frustration. Try this. Next time you're frustrated, pause and ask yourself, can I control this? If not, let it go. Redirect your focus to what you can control. Society wants you to be reactive. It wants you constantly distracted, emotional, and outraged. Because when you're not in control of yourself, you're easier to manipulate. But when you master Stoic indifference, you become unshakable. People react emotionally to challenges, seeing them as setbacks. But the Stoics had a different mindset. Every problem is an opportunity. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle is the path. Every hardship is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Example, you fail at something. It's a lesson, not a loss. You get rejected. It's redirection, not failure. You face hardship. It's training, not punishment. This is called cognitive reframing, choosing to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. How to apply it? 1. When faced with difficulty, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How is this making me stronger? 2. Actively shift your mindset. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Say, how can I use this? Society wants you to see obstacles as reasons to quit. The Stoics saw obstacles as fuel for greatness. When you adopt this mindset, nothing can truly stop you. Modern society is built on distractions and instant gratification. Social media trains your brain to crave constant validation. Junk food hijacks your body's natural hunger signals. Streaming services keep you trapped in endless consumption. The Stoics knew that self-mastery is the key to true freedom. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True power doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from controlling yourself. Example, the Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. They fasted, exposing themselves to hunger to prove they didn't need constant indulgence. They took cold baths to remind themselves that comfort is a luxury, not a necessity. They denied themselves luxuries on purpose, to train their minds to be stronger than their cravings. In a world that rewards weakness and indulgence, this is radical. How to apply it? Test your discipline. Skip a meal, wake up earlier, or take a cold shower. Delay gratification. Instead of giving in to every impulse, pause. Ask yourself, do I actually need this? Develop daily rituals. The Stoics followed routines to build discipline, journaling, meditation, and exercise. Discipline isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. When you're in control of yourself, you're in control of your life. Ethan took a deep breath. Everything made sense now. Happiness wasn't something to be chased, it was something to be cultivated from within. Control wasn't out there, it was inside him. And for the first time, he saw clearly. Ethan sat in silence, staring out at the horizon. For years, he had believed the same illusion that traps most people. That happiness is something you achieve. That success is something you earn. That control is something you gain. But now, he knew the truth. Happiness isn't about getting more, it's about needing less. Most people don't care about you, and that's liberating. The only real control you have is over your own mind. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. The old man smiled. Most people will never wake up, he said. But now you have a choice. Ethan had spent his entire life playing by society's rules, chasing an idea of success that was never his own. Now he had two options. Go back to his old life, pretending he never heard these truths, or change everything. He chose to change. Most people will never break free, not because they don't want to, but because they're too afraid to question everything they've been taught. Society is built on keeping you in a cycle of wanting more, fearing judgment, seeking control in all the wrong places. This is why people spend their entire lives chasing money only to realize it doesn't buy peace, seeking approval only to feel empty when they get it, trying to control the world only to end up frustrated. They never stop to ask, what if everything I believe is wrong? The Stoics, however, did ask that question, and they discovered that the richest person is the one who desires the least. The freest person is the one who stops caring about opinions. The strongest person is the one who controls their own mind. This is why people like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, and Epictetus, a former slave, lived by the same philosophy. Because whether you rule an empire or have nothing at all, true power comes from within. It's easy to listen to these ideas and feel inspired for a moment. But if you don't act on them, nothing changes. So how do you actually live by these truths? 1. Start your day with Stoic reflection. Each morning ask yourself, what can I control today? What's outside of my control that I need to let go of? What unnecessary desires am I chasing? Marcus Aurelius did this every morning. He reminded himself that the world is chaotic, people will be irrational, and challenges will come, but he could always control his response. You can do the same. Most people see problems as obstacles. The Stoics saw them as opportunities. Next time something goes wrong, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how is this training me to be stronger? What lesson is hidden in this? If you adopt this mindset, nothing can truly defeat you. Modern life is designed to make you weak and dependent on comfort. The Stoics trained themselves to be stronger than their impulses by practicing voluntary discomfort, fasting to remind themselves that hunger is not the end of the world, wearing simple clothes to prove they didn't need luxury, taking cold baths to train their minds to endure discomfort. Try this. Skip a meal intentionally. Leave your phone at home for a day. Sleep on the floor for a night. These small acts will break your dependence on comfort and make you mentally unshakable. You spend far too much energy worrying about what others think. But the truth is, no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Ask yourself, if I stopped caring what people think, what would I do differently? Then start doing exactly that. After everything he had heard, Ethan turned to the old man and asked, so if I follow these principles, will I finally be happy? The old man chuckled. Happiness was never the goal. Ethan frowned. Then what is? The old man looked him in the eyes and said, freedom. And that's what society doesn't want you to know. Because when you stop chasing, stop fearing, and stop trying to control what cannot be controlled, you become truly free. If these ideas resonated with you, don't let them fade away. Society will try to pull you back into the illusion. But now you know the truth. So make the choice today. Live by these principles and claim the freedom that is already yours. And if you want to keep learning how to master your mind, subscribe for more truths that society doesn't want you to know. Your freedom starts now.